Welcome back, everyone. I hope you guys have been doing great. I hope you guys have been being safe. We're still in a pandemic, so don't forget that. But anyways, let's hop straight into this. I got you guys a cooking video part 2. I know you guys been waiting for this for a long time. My first video was actually decent, but I got something even better for you guys, so just stay tuned. We're gonna be talking about the delicious food I'm gonna be making, so I hope you guys enjoy this video. Don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Just don't forget, guys. All right, let's get straight into this. All right, so I got here, I'm gonna be cooking some chicken tenders with some bell peppers. As you guys can see, I have a lot of different vegetables around me. I got an onion, I got my garlics, my stick of butter. And these are the ingredients I'm gonna be using to actually marinate my chicken. I got my paprika, my oregano, my garlic, my chicken bouillon. And then I have my pot there that I'm gonna be using, or my pan. So for the first thing I'm gonna be doing is I'm actually gonna be cutting my onion, into slices. As you guys can see what I'm doing here, I'm peeling it first. As you can see now, it's all nice and cut. So once you have it all nice and cut like that, make sure it's nice and trim, make sure it looks great, make sure all the slices are actually equal and look alike. And what I'm gonna be doing is just putting it up here in the corner. I'm a pretty organized person, so even when I cook, I like to actually organize it. As you guys can see that. Then I'm actually gonna grab one of my bell peppers. I'm actually gonna grab 2 here. So as you guys can see, I'm gonna be grabbing 2 of them. Different colors, it doesn't matter, you can use the same color bell pepper, whatever you want. So what I'm gonna be doing here is I'm gonna be cutting the bell pepper in half actually. This is part of the step. What I'm gonna be doing is I'm gonna actually cut it again just a little bit, just so I can get through those seeds and cut the seeds out of there. You can keep the seeds on there, but I preferably don't like to keep them on there, so I'm just taking them off here. I'm doing the same process with all the rest of the bell pepper, right? You see that I have both my bell peppers cut right about now, right? So then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab a strainer, and I'm gonna put my bell peppers in there. I'm gonna put them in there actually, and I'm gonna just give them a nice little rinse in the sink, just so all those seeds come off of there. And because they're not really all that necessary, so I'm just gonna give them a rinse, make them all nice and clean, because who likes the seeds in their stuff? I mean, I know I don't, but you guys can keep them in there. It's your choice. But once I have them all nice and washed and rinsed out, what I'm actually gonna do next is I'm gonna keep rinsing them, because I gotta get all those seeds out of there. And then what I am gonna do next is I'm actually gonna put them to dry a little bit, and I'm gonna start cutting it. I'm gonna begin cutting the bell pepper. As you see, this is the most famous way you see bell peppers cut, in any type of food. So this is what I'm actually gonna be cutting them. Like, this is how they're gonna look with my onion all together. Look very delicious. That combination is great. So then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to my chicken. I'm using chicken tender meat, all natural. And then I'm just gonna give it a slight cut, open the packaging, of course. And what I'm gonna be doing here is I'm actually gonna be rinsing my chicken, just because chicken contains a lot of bacteria and different things, from the farms and where it comes from. I'm just gonna give it a light rinse, It's still pretty frozen, as you can see, because it was in the freezer, so it was thawing a little. But I'm actually gonna be using 2 packs, just because I have my household, I need to feed more people, so it's not an issue. You can use 1 pack or 2 pack, your choice. If it's just one person, 1 pack preferably. So I'm gonna be rinsing it, making it look all great, rinsing it out. As you can see, I'm actually gonna take the water out, rinse it out again. Then I'm gonna grab a napkin, and I'm gonna just gently I'm gonna pat it down, just until it's dry, because you don't want wet chicken when you cook it. You want to make sure it's nice and dry and it all stays very firm. So now that we have it like that, we're actually gonna start our marination process. We have a lemon here, or lime, a lot of people, it doesn't matter. Then I'm gonna grab my lemon squeezer and squeeze the lemon. All those juices that the lemon has, all those nice firm juices, we're actually gonna make sure it goes onto every part of the chicken. As you guys can see, we have all the chicken here. We're gonna make sure that we also flip it over, at the end when we're done putting our lime in there. We're gonna put our second lime or lemon in there, as you can tell, right? We're gonna make sure it gets all in there, all the juices, all the flavors of the lemon, of the seasoning. It just make sure it all looks great in there. So then for our first spice, we're gonna be using garlic. I like to use garlic, granulated garlic. You can use preferably whatever you want, but for my way of cooking, I'm gonna be using garlic right now. Make sure I get that first cap in there, that first layer on there of it, right? Then I'm actually gonna be flipping it over, making sure it gets all in there, making sure all the garlic gets in there on both sides. Even on the bottom, we're gonna add some more in there. Just because it's a lot of chicken, we wanna make sure we get all the marination, all the lime and the garlic to get a nice little juicy combo in there. And then for our second seasoning, we're actually gonna be using some paprika. Paprika is a very popular type of spice people use in the kitchen. You want to do the same process, layer it on there, layer it, make sure you get it all in there, just lightly. You don't need to pour the whole bottle in, just lightly. We're just gonna flip it over again, make sure we get it all in there, flip it over, as you guys can see me doing that. Right, we're flipping it over, making sure all the marination, all the three combos, all the three seasonings we got in there are going in well perfect. Then I have some oregano here, as you guys can see. Oregano is one of my favorite seasonings. I use it so much in the kitchen. It's just amazing. It has such a nice taste and texture. But I'm gonna be using that for my chicken here, as you guys can see. Lightly, not so much. You also don't want to pour the whole bottle in there because that's not gonna be convenient, right? So now that we have it all there, we're gonna use our chicken flavored bouillon. That's another seasoning. In my house, my family uses it so much, which is also great. You're cooking chicken, you might as well use the chicken bouillon. In Spanish, it's called consomé. So it's just amazing. This flavor, it belongs on chicken, this seasoning. So you guys can use that also. It's gonna make it nice and fermented in there. You're gonna make sure you measure it, of course, because it's like it contains so much salt. So measure it. Now you want to just marinate it with your hands. Make sure you get all the flavors in there. Obviously, make sure your hands are super clean when you're in the kitchen, because you don't want to get anybody sick. Especially when you're working around chicken. So make sure your hands are clean. Make sure you get in between all those areas with the chicken. Give it a little massage. Shake it up in there. Because remember, we have like 5 different seasonings and we have our lime in there. So you guys have to keep in mind that we need to make sure everything stays in place. Everything is juicy, everything is crisp. So just keep it that way. So now that we have it all nice and we're gonna keep massaging it with our hands, making sure all those flavors stay in there, right, making sure all of our textures, we're not leaving any chicken behind in the bottom. Make sure we get all those pieces of chicken, right? We're making sure we make it all equally look alike, right? We're gonna leave it there for about 20 minutes, marinating, 30, your choice, right? So now that we've left it there for that time, right, what we want to do now is we actually want to clean our area. Who likes cooking in a messy area? I know I don't. So you want to make sure you disinfect your area, especially because you're working with chicken. Chicken has a lot of bacteria. Make sure you bleach down your cabinet, your drawers, the place you're cooking on. Make sure it's nice and sanitary and clean, right? So now we have our vegetables here, we have our chicken here, and our pan here, right? We're gonna be using olive oil. Olive oil is amazing. You know, you can use olive oil or vegetable oil, but olive oil is a lot more healthier than it, so you might want to just go with that, right? Now that we have that, we want to make sure that we turn our stove on, our oven, our stove, right? We want to pour some of that olive oil into our pan, right? Just not so much, because also when you cook chicken like this, it really it turns really watery when you're cooking it, so you want to make sure that you use a little bit of oil, right? Now that we have our chicken like this, we want to make sure that we actually cut our chicken. So if you guys haven't got the hint, we're actually making chicken fajitas. So these are amazing. You know, we want to make sure our chicken looks all equally nice and cut. You want to kind of cut the chicken diagonally, you know. As you guys can see, I'm cutting the chicken, making sure it looks all equally alike. All the pieces are the same, you know, because when you make fajitas, the chicken has to be just very thin, very small, just so that it could fit in your tortilla, in your taco, anything. So now that we have all of our chicken cut, you know, like I mentioned, you want to make sure that you add just a little bit of chicken inside of the pan, because if you add so much of it, it's just gonna be really, really watery. So you don't really want watery. So you want to make sure you add just a small amount of the chicken into the oil. You know, make sure it's at the correct temperature, right? Don't add it all. Once you begin to see the chicken to start, you know, grilling and cooking at a certain amount, you know, it begins to turn golden, just as so. You know, it just looks great. You know, when you're cooking the chicken, it's just amazing. It begins to just grill inside the olive oil, and all those flavors, all that amazing different texture you put inside of the marination process of it, it's just all gonna fall into place there. It's like right now, literally, there's like a whole party happening inside this chicken, because I mean, look at that. All of the lime, the lemon, everything, the paprika, the oregano, everything just went so amazing on there. It's just like a party here. I want to join this party. I don't know about you guys, but this is looking great. Like, I'm starving way before even anything. Like, look at this. It's looking fantastic, fabulous. So now, you know, it's like cooking, right? It looks like it's like bubbling a little, right? We have everything looking sharp in there. It looks nice and golden. We're just gonna go ahead and add some more chicken, you know. Now if we add more chicken, it's not gonna be watery, because it was already grilling before we put that, right? So we're not gonna have a soup, right? Because if I were to put some more chicken, it was gonna be like soup with so much water. We do not want that, guys. Remember, use small portions of the chicken, right? You have your small portion. We want it all to look golden, you know. So, you know, have your temperature at a correct setting. So right here, you know, as so we keep adding some more. It'll all eventually turn nice and golden and crisp, just the way the rest of it looks. But for the meantime, it's okay. Don't rush the process of cooking. Cooking takes a lot of dedication, so you guys want to make sure that you have patience with it. It's not gonna be like really, really fast. You know, you need to be patient with it. Right now that our chicken, you know, we added most of it now. Just look at that. Wow, it's really golden. It looks amazing. I would die to eat this right now. Like, look at this. My mouth's so watery just even talking about it. Right, so now it's almost time to add our vegetables in, just not quite yet, just because I could still see some pink meat in there. It's not time yet to add it. So we're just gonna keep mixing it, you know, mixing it, make sure we get all those layers, all that chicken grilled in there, making sure it all looks really sharp. But also when you're cooking, you can do so many other things. So I'm gonna be making a rice here, just until the rest of my chicken is finished cooking. So I'm just gonna be using some of this vegetable oil. You can use olive oil to cook rice. That's totally fine also. So I'm gonna be using my vegetable oil, right? And here I have a mug of rice, which is basically just a cup also. So you can also use a cup of rice, You want to pour the cup of rice inside the oil, but also, you know, make sure the oil gets in between all the places, right? You want to pour it in there, right, as so. As you guys can see, I'm pouring the cup in there. 1 cup is perfectly fine. I mean, for my household, you can add as many cups as you want. Just don't make so much, because rice usually boils and there's so much of it in the end, right? So we're just gonna mix our rice here. Make sure we get in between all those places of the of the oil. Make sure we get it all in there, nice and mixed, right? Rice is a process. It's a great process. You know, rice is one of the easiest things you can make, but not a lot of people really have time or anything to make it, but it's one of the simplest. So look at our chicken, guys. It's all nice and golden by now. It's all really looking grilled. It's just amazing. It's tremendous. The chicken here is one of my favorite parts of just this whole video, because there's so many different flavors in it. You know, you just don't know what to expect at the end of this video. Just amazing. So look at this, guys. It's looking about time to add our vegetables. Just not quite yet. We're gonna keep looking at our rice. Okay, we added some tomato to this party. So tomatoes actually joined the onion and the bell pepper party. So you guys are gonna be able to see this just amazing combination inside the cooking process. We're gonna just pour all of it in there all at once, right? Make sure we get all those missing pieces in there, right? So we have all of our flavors cooking in there now, right? As you guys can see, everything is looking tremendously. It looks like a party there. I want to go there. Who else wants to go there? I know I do. Like, I want to live inside of there and just eat it all. I don't know about you guys, but I'm just so shook right now, because this has like been one of the greatest cooking experiences I've had, you know, in so long in this video. It was just amazing to put all my flavors in there, you know. Now that we have our rice, we're adding our water. You know, obviously to make rice, you need to add water, or else nothing's gonna boil. You want to make sure your rice and your water boil up together, right? And when you're making rice, you want to make sure you cover it. So for seasonings for my rice, you can use anything, salt, anything you want, your choice. For here, I'm just using my chicken bouillon, my Nor Suiza, as I mentioned. So look at this, guys. Wow. Make sure you cover your rice also. Keep that in mind. Just look at this. We're having a party here, guys. You guys make sure that you guys like this video and comment what you guys find so interesting about this type of food, because I'm so shook right now. Like, this is amazing. Just wow. Look at this. It's finger licking good, y'all. It's finger licking good. Y'all need to try this. Try this recipe I'm giving you. Take it all. And you know, when you make food, you got so many dishes, right? So many dishes, and it's crazy. But you know, eating is one of the best parts of cooking, right? Eating it all. And so look, guys, for this part, I'm actually using some flour tortillas, right? So as you guys can see, I have my flour tortillas, right? So basically all of our fajitas are done. Our rice is done. I'm gonna be flipping some flour tortillas, and I'm gonna be making some fajitas, as you guys can see. So I have all of that cooked up, right? I have my brothers, they're actually trying to just hear them out. Reaction.
Oh.
What do you think?
That's an 11 out of 10.
Broke the scale?
Broke it. I'm tired.
You think it was good?
Yep, it's really good.
Is that a bone?
I don't know.
Probably a little bone. Well, this is the new boys on the block.
And we out.
And we out with another video cooking. Hope you guys enjoyed. Delicious. Peace out, guys.
Si tengo el fuego está en mis labios. No tengo amores, no tengo rincones. Tengo enemigos y tengo amigos. O no son amables o todos son queridos. So get in the level and show them the way. We'll switch it up a little, get little bilingual. If I'm making friends, I want no te mula. If I'm making love, I believe in Buddha. Ooh, wow.